Today we're talking about heavy duty adjustable lower rear trailing arms and upper rear trailing arms. The purpose of having an adjustable rear trailing arm is multiple. Firstly, they're heavy duty, so they're much stronger than the standard unit and can withstand a lot more rugged off-road. Secondly, and most importantly, they're adjustable in length. So when you do a suspension lift, you're altering the angle and the arc in which the arm travels on. The arm becomes shorter in relation to the wheelbase of the vehicle. We need to correct that by putting in an adjustable trailing arm, so you can make the arm longer and bring the rear geometry back to the specification. Having the upper arms adjustable allows you to correct the rear differential pinion angle. The purpose of that is to have the rear pinion and the output of the transfer parallel, and that maintains the drive shaft angle. It makes sure that the rear and the front universal joints are both working in the same plane, which removes vibrations out of the vehicle.
Firstly, start with removing the brake line bracket. You will need a 6mm spanner. Once done, you can start to remove the nuts and bolts that hold the lower trailing arm in place. You will need a 19mm socket and spanner to do this. Only do one trailing arm at a time, as this will stop the diff from rolling around and make the install process much easier. Lay the new and the old lower trailing arms next to each other. This will help with adjustment for the new one. If required, adjust the arm length to the correct pinion angle or wheel position. After doing that, tighten down the locking nut. You will need a 55mm spanner to do this. Note that you may need to use a vise for this step. Now you can reinstall your lower trailing arm. Start from the back and work your way forward. Once done and the nuts have been hand tightened, you can use the rattle gun to tighten them to the desired tightness. Then reinstall the brake line bracket onto the lower trailing arm. Repeat for the other side. Now that's the lower trailing arms installed. Let's move on to the upper trailing arms. Now the process is pretty much the same. Locate and start to remove the upper trailing arm. You'll need a 17mm socket and spanner to do this. Only do one trailing arm at a time, as this will stop the diff from rolling around and make the install process much easier. Lay the new and the old upper trailing arms next to each other. This will help with the adjustment for the new one. Again, if required, adjust the arm length now to the correct pinion angle or wheel position, keeping in mind you want the diff and the transfer case pinions parallel at right height. After doing that, tighten down the locking nut. You will need a 32mm spanner to do this. Note that you may need to use a vise for this step. Now you can reinstall your upper trailing arms. Once installed and the nuts have been hand tightened, you can use the rattle gun to tighten them to desired tightness. Repeat for the other side. And that's it. You've just installed Dobinsons heavy duty upper and lower trailing arms to your vehicle. Now please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.